Craig Smith back the other way. And the veteran winds in, plays it across to Austin Watson. That got through. Woll makes the stop. Craig Smith back on the backhand shot, turned away by Woll.
If you have three, you don't have the one.
Johansson has it picked up. And there's Lorenz with a chance at the side of the goal, and Talbot turned that away. With lots of friends in Buffalo on Tuesday night, he's going to get his 100th point. As Talbot plays that away. Patrick Kane gathers it back up, turn it over. Matthews drops it back, Marner back across the nines, hit the goal post.
Years old, and here it is. It's wide open.
Up ahead to Tavares. Tarasenko. Lead backs to Rasmussen. Michael Rasmussen in, and a rebound chance rolled just wide. And a pick back up by Myers. Jake McCabe, Oliver Ekman, and Larson are prepared to return for the Leafs in the playoffs on the weekend. So Carlos shoots, and Talbot makes the stop on that.
Time in the press box as a healthy scratch the last little while.
Well, back at the point. Oh, a hard shot. Woll the save. Rasmussen back on it. Looks down to Tarasenko. Vladimir Tarasenko. Plays that back to Lagesson. And at the point, Hall a shot. Rebound skipped away from Tarasenko. Back at the point again. Hall winds in. A little backhand shot stopped by Woll. And he will hang on. Watson. Now turned over, and Lutton with a chance, stopped by Talbot.
They just don't know.
Right.
So they have something to play for. This is a serious game for them, that trio.
Mermis with a shot, stopped by Talbot. Up for Raymond. Mermis finds McMahon. Drops it back for Robertson, a long shot. Talbot makes the save on that.
And I wonder if Mitch Marner, given the way Four Nations went for him, carries that in the playoffs.
Nylander drops it back to Myers with a shot, and Talbot makes the stop on Philip Myers. Here's Matthews. Back for Myers. That's knocked down by Larkin. Larkin was in the last year of his contract last year. There was a lot of discussion whether he would re-sign. As that center for Matthews. Backhand shot scored. And Austin Matthews has goals in 3 straight. 1-0 Leafs lead.
Over to Austin Matthews. Mitch Marner picks up another point, and Matthew Knies gets it over there just under the stick of Dylan Larkin, who slows it down, but is able to string it out for Austin Matthews. And even though I'm sure somewhere in his mind he's like, can I get this back to Knies? Not worth it. Get it upstairs and in, and Toronto wants him going into the playoff.
Off the face-off win. Johansson moves in. Albert Johansson knocked the stick out of Lorenz's hands. Spins and shoots. It's off the side of the goal.
And if you're in the top 5 to 8, you'd like to get players that are going to be consistently good NHLers all the time.
Now Watson, that shot was blocked by Mermis. Hall took it back and rebound. Austin Watson scores. Backhand for Austin Watson, and the game is tied at 1. On his 3rd of the year.
How about that finish by Austin Watson? He jumps on an awkward puck for Mermis. It bounces into his chest. He doesn't know where it is. He can't pick it out, and then it bounces off Justin Hall. And Austin Watson there to cut it over the blocker side of Joseph Woll. And just follow the bouncing puck.
Pivots back in the corner. Kane. That pass missed Casper. Now Edmondson back on it. Final seconds of the period. Picked up by DeBrincat. A hard shot there by Kane. So if you want to know who does a good job of this, count the number of rows you see in the back. The tighter they are, the better they are. In comes Dylan Larkin. Feeds it back across, and a great shot there for Raymond.
There was Mats and Ty and Alfie and Marian Hossa were the 4 guys in all of them.
Tarasenko drops that back in the high slot to Hall. And that shot pinballs a couple times back down to Casper. At the line is Hall. That long shot scored over the glove of Woll. And Justin Hall, the former Leaf, has his first in 57 games.
Oh my goodness. Producer at all drags them in a little bit here and catches perhaps a slight touch on Austin Matthews, drawing the puck back towards the middle of the net. Because Woll, that's not a tough wrister. He does see it. He's got a glove out to the left. Maybe it just drifts right past him. Lucas Raymond usually out here, not on the bench right now for Detroit. So is he called for out for the first unit?
Here's Kane. Raymond had that awkward collision in the corner a few minutes ago. Here's DeBrincat back with it. For Seider, back across. DeBrincat shoots, scores! Alex DeBrincat with a rocket. A power play goal to make it 3-1 Detroit.
Decide that Chris Tanev would otherwise be there to block, and it's pretty simple rotation. Seider to the middle, walk it over to your shooter, and Brandon Carlo can't quite seem to get in the shooting lane, gets by him. Another one where Wall probably doesn't see it all the way off the stick. Get a great sense of what Wall is looking at. And when the goalie's head snaps right back to where the shot came from or to one of his defenders.
Works it back across to Johansson. Poke check there by Domi. It bounces back to Sherratt. Across to Larkin. Shoot short side. That was off the post. Kane back for DeBrincat. Slides that back to Seider with a shot. Wall to stop. And it's 12-3 Detroit here in the second. So as you talked about the ice time being evenly spread out as Casper busts in short-handed backhand shot. Wall save. Reaches down, able to keep that out.
You don't play as hard as the team across from you, they'll get the better of you. And Casper driving wide, good backhand, and the rebound bounces off his leg. And Wool has to tuck it under his pad, not have the shorty go in.
And brought back by Jonathan Berggren. In with Tarasenko. And Tarasenko tied up by Benoit. Now Larkin back with it. He finds Johansson with time. Shoots off the outside of the post.
Justin Hall, we got Austin Watson, almost Johansson, who beats Wall cleanly again. It is a flyby screen. It was Berggren who skated through the eyes. Yeah, he came back to the bench, but he only played 5 minutes through 2 periods, so I think his season is over. Leading scorer for the Detroit Red Wings.
Nurmas winds in. Bumped there by Watson. Played back Lorentz. Cross he goes to Philip Myers. What a move. Walks right in, shoots, scores!
Oh my goodness.
Philip Myers empties the trick bucket and gets Toronto back within 1. What a goal.
Come on. And he puts on a clinic. Shake and bake on Mott. Inside drag on Watson. Has your patience. Opens up the 5-hole and slips it home to make it 3-2. This is highlight reel no matter who you are, let alone a guy who scored 1 goal in the last 3 years.
Yeah, he scored last on February 6th against Seattle. That was his first goal since 2022.
That was gorgeous.
And once that Montreal-Detroit game went to overtime, the Flyers were out. They didn't realize it. It happened just seconds apart as DeBrincat moves in and shoots, and Wool makes the stop. Marner, go for the record. Here comes Nyes. Back to Marner. Marner drops it back to Myers. Tees it up and shoots, and bounce off the end boards. Nylander back with it. Back down to Marner. Shot and cued that wide. 10 seconds to go here in the period. Holmberg. Marner centers the chance for Tanev. Scores! Here we go. 1.8 seconds left. Chris Tanev ties the game.
Why not? Recognizes the time of the clock and says, why not just slip on down to the goal line as Marner puts it right out there for him, and he shovels it in the empty net. Under 2 to play. That is a heck of a pass from Mitch Marner. My goodness. And I guess the Leafs weren't happy with full 60 minutes. They're going to go extra time in their last game.
Scott Laughton comes on.
Dakota Mermis comes on. So that might be it for the big guys.
In comes Nyes. Works back in. Tied up by Edmondson in the corner. Drop back, Mermis, a shot that goes wide up the other side. Laughton, chance, scores! Scott Laughton, the overtime winner. His second is a lead. And Toronto takes it 4-3 in overtime.
Picked up point in Buffalo, and then why not an overtime winner? Quick hands, backhand, forehand, shovel off the boards to throw it past Talbot. And end the season on a winning note. Leafs are on a hot run at home to close the season, and a multi-goal comeback, no less, in the third period to cap off a regular season that has been immensely successful.
Well, our final broadcast of the season, our thanks to everyone in our Molson Leaf hockey crew.